Welcome to Raw and Real Real Estate with your host, Marisol Ortiz. Here, we cut through the noise and have honest conversations about the housing market. Each episode brings you real insights, stories, and perspectives from inside the industry, so you can better understand what's really happening in real estate today. Hi everyone, welcome back to Raw and Real Real Estate. I'm your host, Marisol Ortiz, and today I'm going to be talking about a very touchy subject, an important subject that we do not talk much about, and that is foreclosures. As a real estate professional and as a human, I find that many clients reach out to me inquiring about what purchasing a foreclosure entails. It seems almost fascinating for many potential buyers to land a property that is going to be a great deal for them. But being on the other side, being the person, the homeowner that is being foreclosed on, is not fascinating. It's devastating. And I can't even begin to imagine how much. So today I'm going to talk about what's going on in our current market regarding this topic, what causes foreclosures to rise, how the process works, and I'm also going to dig into which areas in the US are being hit the hardest, and if you are close to facing foreclosure, what you can do to stop it before it's too late. Before we get started, just a quick reminder, this podcast is for general information only. I'm not giving legal or financial advice, and everyone's situation is different. So make sure you talk to a licensed professional in your area before making any decisions. Let's kick this off with some interesting stats. According to Adam Data and other sources, more than, listen up, 187,000 homes in the US got a foreclosure notice in the first half of 2025. That's about 6% more than the same period last year. In Texas alone, over 17,000 homeowners started the foreclosure process this year. So yes, foreclosures are rising again. Why? Glad you asked. During COVID, if you guys remember, many relief programs were put into place, like forbearance or moratoria, and this helped delay foreclosures. Those safety nets have mostly ended, and now other underlying pressures are showing up. Higher interest rates, higher costs of owning a home, and everyday expenses are going up. I think this is making a lot of families feel squeezed. Another thing is, I know many of my clients, probably I dare say 95% of them, have fixed rates, but some homeowners out there have adjustable rate mortgages, or what are known as ARMs. These are now resetting to much higher payments. We have rising insurance, property taxes, and local costs that are also chipping away at people's budgets. So in my opinion, while the end of COVID relief triggered some of this uptick, I think these other stressors that I just talked about are also contributing. Let's jump into what a foreclosure actually is. So foreclosure is when a lender takes the legal steps needed to repossess a home because the owner has fallen behind on payments. This doesn't happen instantly. There are stages. The first stage is a stage in which you miss payments. You skip one or more payments, and then the lender will often call, send letters, or both. Stage 2 is the default notice. After several months, a formal notice is sent saying you are in default. Stage 3 is the foreclosure filing. The lender files legal paperwork to begin the process. Number 4, auction or sale. If no agreement is reached, the home may be sold to recoup what's owed. And number 5, which is the saddest one, eviction. If the homeowner is still living there, they may have to move out after the sale. Some of you may ask, how long does foreclosure take? I know I've been asked this question many times by clients, and the timeline depends heavily on which state you live in. Some states require court processes or what are known as judicial foreclosures, which take longer. Others allow faster non-judicial foreclosures. Across the U.S., a typical foreclosure can take about 1.5 to 2 years from start to finish. But in states like Texas, once the process begins, it can move in as little as 4 months. That's why the earlier you act, the better. Now let's talk about metros with the highest foreclosure rates. In Q3 of 2025, Adam released a zombie foreclosure report. Zombie foreclosures are homes in the foreclosure process and vacant. Metros where a high share of properties in foreclosure are vacant include Wichita, Kansas, Peoria, Illinois, Youngstown, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Toledo, Ohio, Indianapolis, Indiana, St. Louis, Missouri, Davenport, Iowa, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, some states that are currently holding the highest foreclosure rates overall are Nevada, South Carolina, and Florida. Metro areas with more than 1 million people that are being hit the hardest include Cleveland, Las Vegas, Jacksonville, Florida, Houston, and Orlando, where foreclosure filings are occurring at the following rates: 1 in every 1,800 to 2,200 homes. So how can you stop or avoid foreclosure? If you're falling behind, don't wait. You still have options. Call your lender right away. Many lenders offer programs they can work out with you, forbearance or modified payment plans. Trust me, they do not want to go through the hassle of foreclosing. Talk to a HUD-approved housing counselor. They can explain your rights and help with paperwork. If you have equity, consider selling before things spiral. It can help preserve your credit, and you might walk away with some money without even expecting it. Also, talk to a legal professional about whether or not bankruptcy can help pause a process like this temporarily. The key is to act early. The moment you see trouble, reach out. Once the foreclosure is filed or sale is scheduled, your options start to shrink pretty fast. I've shown a few foreclosure properties throughout my real estate career, and every time I'm in one of those homes, I can't help but wonder who lived there. Was it a family? Did they have kids? Were they little? Walking the homes, you can sometimes tell by the wall, by the paint on the walls or the decals, if they had little kids. That breaks my heart a little bit. I wonder if they moved out when they got the notice that they were being foreclosed, or if they waited till the end and were evicted. Was it maybe a home that mom and dad left for the kids when they passed, but the kids were not able to keep up with it or just didn't want it? I don't know. I never get the answers to this, but all I know is that I'm there to help my buyer potentially purchase this home I'm walking. And some of them are in surprisingly good shape. You can't even tell they're foreclosures. Some of them are in surprisingly bad shape. Toilets are torn out. Light fixtures are taken. Appliances are taken. Holes on walls. Carpets are in pretty bad shape. It smells like maybe dog urine or smoke. I always recommend inspections when purchasing a home, whether it be new or resale. But if it's a foreclosure, it's a must. You must know what condition the home is in. Another thing to watch out for if you are purchasing a foreclosure home is whether the home is eligible for the type of financing that you are utilizing, because sometimes the condition of the property does not allow for your FHA or VA loan to pass. I think foreclosures can be a good opportunity, as I mentioned, to land a home for a good price, but just make sure that you are aware of what it's going to take to rehab this property if it's severely damaged. Now, if you're on the other side, you're not purchasing a foreclosure, but you are possibly facing foreclosure, I get it. Foreclosure is scary, but it doesn't mean the end. Most people still have time, sometimes months. So please try to make something work. Get help or plan your next steps. If you or someone you know is struggling, take this episode as your nudge to reach out and don't wait. This is Marisol Ortiz with Raw and Real Real Estate, where we talk about the stuff that truly matters to homeowners. If this episode gave you value, I'd really appreciate if you leave a review. It helps more people find the show and get the info they need. Until next time.